From painting him a coward to saying his fights are lackluster, people have a lot of reasons to hate Leon Edwards, despite his good track record. But why is that? Well, it's because of reasons like he's never beaten someone good. I don't know about you guys, but this doesn't add up, right? There's no way to go about this without disrespecting the fighters he's faced. I mean, Leon has had a pretty good track record. And his career has had mostly wins. But according to fans of the sport, there's a reason why his winning streak is so good, and it has little to do with his strength or his skills, and everything to do with the fighters that he faces off in the ring. Now, it's highly debatable whether the guys he fights are worth it or not, but honestly, I personally think there's no such thing. He has fought some pretty fierce fighters in the ring, and defeated many at that, so this reason to hate on a good fighter sounds pointless. But we can't stop people from having opinions.
There was glimpses in the fight, in the stand-up, Leon was starting to get the better of him, and Kamaru just resorted to what he knew, which was the wrestling.
No matter how stupid they are, Leon has faced off great fighters like Powell Pavluk and Seth Baczynski, and won both these fights. And it's not like he always wins, he has lost some fights too.
Leon Edwards, he did this the long way, he took the long path.
The last time he lost was back in 2015, and the man he lost to was Kamaru Usman.
So at the end of the day, it's pretty obvious that Leon has fought some pretty decent fighters. Whether he's won these fights or not isn't relevant. What is relevant is saying that he never fights anyone good is not only disrespectful to Leon, but also to all those fighters who he's fought. So technically, you're not only hating on Leon, but also on all those fighters. Now that that's established, what are some other reasons for hating on him? Well, apparently, he's a coward.
For me, I just want to see Darren do well, I want him to... I feel like he's a little bit lost as far as like what he's doing and where he's training.
What? Calling a fighter as fierce as Leon a coward sounds a little comedic, no? I mean, this goes for every combat sport. They're pretty violent, and someone who's a coward wouldn't be winning matches the way Leon is. So why do people think he's a coward when he has a good track record and has given us some pretty good fights? Well, that's because he's super selective about the fighters that he fights. Okay, so I know what some of you guys are thinking. Don't all fighters do that? Yup, they do. But for some reason, fans of MMA think that Leon goes the extra mile when picking the fighters, and he only picks easy fights, whatever that means. Okay, I won't be too biased here, and I agree some fighters are easier to fight than others. That's just a fact, and everyone knows that. But saying that Leon only picks fighters that he thinks he can win against sounds a little unfair.
No one that can take him down. I'm drawing all that confidence going into the next fight, and I'm using all that for another headshot.
You guys think? Not to mention, when he was gonna fight one of the fighters, people think he's scared of fighting. He couldn't get to the location because of a national lockdown, and people blamed that on him too. Like, come on, there's a pandemic going on. What do you guys expect him to do? Break the law and hop on a private jet just to prove he's not scared of certain fighters? I don't think he's in the game to prove such things to anyone. Not to mention, people thought that he intentionally caught COVID to avoid a fight. Seriously, guys? It doesn't even make sense. How are you gonna go so far as to say that a fighter contracted a life-threatening flu just to avoid a fight he signed up for? I mean, if he was so scared of the fight, he would have never even agreed to it. But he did, and according to sources, he was prepared and ready for it.
A new focus, a new beginning. With every win, you grow stronger.
But then, unfortunately, he caught COVID and couldn't make it to the fight. And what did you guys expect him to do? Just push through with a fatigued body, put everyone's life in danger, all to probably end up losing the fight? Nah man, that doesn't sound like it's worth it. Just to prove to a bunch of trolls on the internet that you're not a coward. But even if these people don't think Leon's a coward, they still have other reasons to hate him.
I think, and since then, I went on the streak, even on the streak, now here we are.
Leon was better than me. There's a reason why he's in this position.
Such as the fact that he lacks luster. Okay, I've been defending Leon throughout this video, but I don't know if I can continue defending him anymore, because unfortunately, there's no way anyone can sit here and say that this is not true. Look at his fights. They're only as exciting as the average matches, if not less. I mean, there's nothing really that outstanding about the guy. Not in the ring, at least. His matches don't usually excite fans the way they should. They're just too bland, plain and simple. he's beginning to be known as the most boring fighter in the UFC. And for someone in the UFC, which promotes some of the most exciting fighters like Anthony Smith and Greg Hardy, it's not long before the UFC stops putting so much hype behind Leon. And that obviously isn't going to be the best for Leon or his fans. And obviously, we all know that without viral moments from fights, something that Leon severely lacks, it's hard to become popular as a fighter.
Wait there in Leon Edwards, maybe, that you could have a little bit of a fight with?
Who's that?
Leon Edwards?
Never heard of it.
And the more popular you are, the better it is for your career. Your performance matters, but so does your popularity. So to put it simply, he's just a boring fighter, and that's reason enough for people to hate him. But okay, he's boring in the ring, but what about outside the ring? Well, let's talk about his personality. A fighter is liked when he's either giving the public some killer viral moments from his fights, or if he has a really captivating personality outside the ring. You gotta have one of the two, and unfortunately, Leon has neither. But hey, these aren't my words, this is just what the UFC fans think. And I might or might not agree with these fans. I mean, come on. Even his interviews are so boring that they could be used as white noise to put people to sleep. Unless you're a major Leon Edwards fan, I don't think anyone finds these interviews, or even his online presence, any fun.
They send me around the area, so for me to be able to come back now to the UK, I'm gonna go to Jamaica as well and just show the kids that, look, I was born just like you was born.
And the only popularity that he has so far is mostly because of the hate he gets from UFC fans, for all the reasons that I talked about in this video. Look at some of the most popular fighters in the UFC. They either have really funny or viral trash-talking moments, or sassy interviews that lay a sick burn, or major feuds, or any sort of drama in their career, but not Leon Edwards. The man is like that one kid in high school who has killer grades, but no one really likes him except for the teacher. And apparently, this kid picks the tests he takes too. And for someone like that to be overconfident isn't really fitting. That's another reason why people hate him. He's arrogant and entitled.
It's gonna be amazing. Action.
Everyone would have been there for him, cheering for him.
A lot of fans get the vibe that Leon's a little too arrogant and entitled for someone who's not even all that. But why is that? Well, remember how I told you guys about how boring his online presence is? Well, when he tried to spice it up, he did it the wrong way. He replied to Stephen Thompson on Twitter when Stephen offered a fight. His reply seemed very insulting and disrespectful to the fighter, as if Leon was saying, "You're not worth it." And that really rubbed the fans the wrong way. Geez, Leon, tone the arrogance down a notch. You're not all that. And those were some of the biggest reasons why fans of the UFC hate Leon Edwards.